Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Real Talk with Dr. Mitchell. I am Lisa Mitchell, aka Dr. Mitchell, so thank you so much for checking out this video. So I really wanted to jump on because it's the end of the year, if you're watching in real time, for a lot of us teachers, and for probably all of us in some capacity or another. We were affected by the COVID mandated closures and, in this country as well as all around the world, right? This pandemic, where a lot of us had to educate from home for perhaps the first time ever, right? And if you're a special education teacher, especially, I'm really doing this video for all of you because I know as a special education teacher myself, it's very important that we CYA, cover our, because we do deal with sense of legality with this paperwork. IEP is a legal document that we have to adhere to regardless of the circumstances, right? Regardless of doing all this from home. So I'm going to give you just a quick little checklist to hopefully have you all CYA just in case, right? This is always in preparation for the worst case scenario, but just to make sure that you guys are well protected and you have the information that you need if it is ever required to be presented. Okay, so first of all, parent contact. Right? We have to document our parent contact. Perhaps you file it away in a Google folder, or you may be required to upload it somewhere at some point in time, but making sure that you're using these last final weeks of school to go through and document your parent contact if you have not already. So for me, for example, I have certain emails that I've sent to all my students, right? I teach high school, so I have two different kids in my English classes. I also have a whole separate group of kids that are on my caseload. So there are certain emails that I send out to every parent, every student. They all got a copy of it simultaneously, like a weekly kind of check-in type email, letting them know that I'm there for support, right? So that was pretty easy. I was able to figure out when and the context of those emails, and I just kind of copied that because across the board all my students got that email. And then the tediousness of it, if you haven't been doing this ongoing, is that you will have to go back to all of your individual emails that you sent to individual students, or text messages or phone calls, or whatever it is that is your mode of reaching out, right? Because certain families work better with text, and some work better on email, and some you got to call. So as long as you have that documentation, put it on in one place, right? Make one document that shows all of the contact that you had. And it can be simple. You don't necessarily have to write this long description of everything that you talked about. You can just document that you emailed them, right? Especially if there were some kids that maybe weren't taken so well to online learning and they weren't really completing a lot of assignments. It's important that we have documentation that we reached out, right? Whether or not the children or the families respond at all, right? That's irrelevant. What's important is that we can show that we reached out, right? So that is number one, document your parent contact. And kind of coinciding with that a little bit, for special education teachers, you have to report the progress, right? So make sure that you have some type of progress report that you can give to all of the families to just let them know how the end of the year went in terms of their IEP goals, right? Which are very specific to special education teachers, right? I'm not referencing how they did in a class or what their final grades were necessarily. There needs to be progress reported on their IEP goals, right? So yeah, there are some parents that may never even open up the email that you send them with that type of document, but it doesn't matter. You need to still do it. Okay, so also you need to make sure all of your paperwork is finalized, right? So double check that if you had IEPs, if you had reevaluation meetings, if you had any type of meeting, make sure that that document is considered finalized, right? Double check, make sure there's signature pages. For us, we just had to basically take a screenshot of the we used Google Hangout. So take a screenshot of the Google Hangout attendees, upload that into whatever type of system your school or your district is using in terms of special education paperwork. Making sure that the parents are responding, that they agree with the NOREPs, right? The Notice of Recommended Educational Placement. Very important document, perhaps one of the most important of them all. You need to document that they are in agreement of that. So making sure that all of those things are where they need to be and that they are considered finalized, right? Because compliance is so important as special education teachers. And if you have some type of compliance checklist that you can go through, maybe I'll try to find one and maybe post a link or something for you guys to use as a guide in the comments. But definitely having some type of compliance checklist that you can go through, be like, I have this, oh yeah, I have this, oh, I need to get this, right? So don't wait till it's too late. This is your final opportunity to really tighten everything up so that no one can ever say anything that so-and-so didn't have this paperwork done, so-and-so is missing this. Be on top of your game, right? And that is how you're going to feel successful in this field. That is how you're going to perhaps move on, and whether you want to move into a higher position of leadership at some point or another, you have to be extremely organized, especially with the given circumstances, right? So no one knows what the fall is going to be like. We might have to be doing this for longer than we ever expected. So just getting into these habits now will save you much in the long run. All right, thank you so much. If you found this video useful, don't forget to click subscribe. You can click the little bell so that you can find out whenever I post a new video. And I appreciate you all. Thanks, bye.